April 12, 1981. A small mountain community in California. A cabin, number 28. 8 in the morning. The door opened. And what was inside? It wasn't just 3 bodies. It was proof of a night whose killer might still be breathing today. 4 people were in that house that night. 3 bodies were found there. 1 stayed missing for 40 years. And 3 children slept just a few feet away. The morning that changed Keddie. 1. A place called Keddie in Plumas County, California. Mountains, woods, silence. A few old cabins where people came to vacation. Peace, quiet. That's all it was. But that morning, April 12th, it wrote this place into the darkest pages of American crime history. Around 8 in the morning, 14-year-old Sheila Sharp had spent the night at a neighbor's cabin. Now she was walking home. Cabin 28, her home. She opened the door, and what she saw burned into her eyes forever. The living room floor was soaked in blood. So much blood it felt like no animal, no devil had passed through here, but something worse. Her mother, 35-year-old Glenna Sue Sharp, lay on the floor. Her face had turned blue. Her 15-year-old son John's body was nearby, and their 17-year-old friend Dana Wingate was there too. 3 bodies, 3 lifeless faces, and in the middle of it all, a 14-year-old girl whose world had just ended. But the most terrifying thing was this. Her 12-year-old sister, Tina, was nowhere. She was only 12. At that age, kids are afraid of the dark. But that night, the dark wasn't afraid of her. There was blood on her bed. The bed was empty. Cabin 28, a story written in blood. When police arrived, Deputy Hank Clemens' heart sank. He said later, "I'd seen a lot of bodies in my life, but that place, it wasn't just a crime scene. It was a map of someone's insanity. Blood spatter on every wall, blood on the ceiling, blood on the furniture, handprints on the door made in blood. Sue's bare feet were stained with blood. Before she died, she had crawled or been dragged. Near the kitchen was a small table. On it lay a butcher knife, completely covered in blood. And beside it, a hammer. The hammer's claw was bent. Someone swung it so hard, the metal gave out. The autopsy report. The autopsy told the story the bodies couldn't. Glenna Sue Sharp, her lower body was naked. Her own underwear had been shoved into her mouth, medical tape wrapped over it. A deep knife wound to her throat, defensive wounds on her hands. She didn't stop. She fought. John Sharp, 15 years old, his hands were covered in blood, his wrists bound with medical tape. He tried to fight too. Knife wound to the throat. Dana Wingate, his head was bludgeoned beyond recognition. His ankles were tied with electrical wire, and that same wire was tied to John's ankle. 2 bodies connected by one cord, like someone wanted to drag them together. And then that room, Tina's room, a deep stain of blood on the bed, so much blood the mattress had soaked it through. But Tina wasn't there. When they picked her up and took her, it must have been, "Where's Mom? Why isn't Mom coming? I'm scared." And that's the last time anyone saw her. 3 children who slept through it. Investigators moved forward. In the other room, 3 children were sleeping. 10-year-old Rick Sharp, 5-year-old Greg Sharp, and 12-year-old Justin Smart, the neighbor's boy who'd stayed over. All 3 sleeping peacefully in their beds. The distance from their beds to the living room was just a few feet. 3 bodies lay there,
Blood everywhere. There must have been screams. There must have been struggle. And these 3 children slept. Police pulled them out through a window so they wouldn't have to see. But the question rose, all that noise, all that bloodshed, and 3 kids never woke up. Were they drugged? Were they intentionally put to sleep? Or were they so frozen in fear their eyes never opened? The letter that should have been burned. The same day as the murders, another thing happened. Marilyn Smart, Justin's mother, Martin Smart's wife, left her husband. She walked out that day, and a few days later she gave a letter to the Plumas County Sheriff's Department. Her husband, Martin Smart, had written it. "I have paid the price for your love, and now I have bought it with the lives of 4 people. You tell me it's over now? Fine. What more do you want?" 4 people. But only 3 bodies were found. Tina was missing. Martin already knew Tina was dead, even though her body wouldn't be found for 3 more years. This letter was a confession, but police never took it seriously. And then in 1981, at a Reno hospital, Martin Smart told his counselor, "I killed that woman and her daughter, but I had nothing to do with those boys." That woman, Sue, her daughter, Tina, the boys, John and Dana. That too was buried, dismissed as rumor. 2 strangers, 1 night, too many questions. 2 people became the focus. Martin Smart lived in cabin 27, local drug dealer, beat his wife, had women on the side, and he fit the description Justin later gave, mustache, long hair. John Bo Boobed showed up in Keddie just 10 days before the murders. Ex-con, rumored ties to Chicago gangs, short hair, clean-shaven, exactly like the other man Justin described. The night of the murders, both of them went to a local bar, wearing 3-piece suits, wearing sunglasses. At night? People thought it strange, like someone deliberately drawing attention, like saying, "Look, we were here. We weren't there." Martin himself said his hammer was missing, the same kind of hammer found on the table at cabin 28. The story trapped in a child's eyes. 12-year-old Justin Smart. He slept at cabin 28 that night. At first, he said, "I don't remember anything. I slept through it." But later, under hypnosis, the images he'd buried surfaced. He saw 2 men, one with a hammer. That man was beating Sue. Then John ran in, tried to save his mother, but the other man grabbed him. Dana tried to run. He couldn't. And then Tina. 12-year-old Tina woke up, peeked into the room, saw what was happening. A man picked her up, held her in his arms, and took her through the kitchen, out the back door. Tina didn't scream. She was frozen, or her mouth was covered. She must have looked toward her mother, but her mother wasn't moving. Justin's eyes were open. He was watching, but his mind was turning what he saw into a dream to save him. For years, he believed he dreamed it, but it wasn't a dream. It was real. Where is Tina? April 22nd, 1984. A bottle collector near Feather Falls found human remains in the woods, about 50 miles from Keddie. Dental records identified her, Tina Sharp. She was 12 when she disappeared. Now she was only bones. The medical examiner said death occurred after November 1st, 1981. 6 months after the murders. 6 months. Where was Tina all those days? Who kept her? Where? What did she think day after day? When's Mom coming? When's my brother coming? When are you taking me home? And in the end, why was she killed? Why was she thrown in the woods like an animal? The phone call buried for 33 years. Days after Tina's remains were found, a call came in to the Butte County Sheriff's Office. A man asked, "I was watching TV. They found a girl's remains in Feather Falls. Have you thought about the Keddie case? Plumas County, a few years back, a 12-year-old girl went missing there. The caller knew the case in detail. Names, places, dates. He remembered everything. But no one took the call seriously. The recording was sealed, buried in a file. For 33 years, no one listened to that tape. In 2013, when the case was reopened, Mike Gamberg opened that file. He listened to the tape. A voice, a man who knew what only the killer could know. Who was he? To this day, no one knows. The Hammer from the Pond. 2016. A dry pond in Keddie. Mike Gamberg reached into the mud and pulled out